I'm Sadie Lee. I'm an artist. I've got quite a distinctive style, but sometimes I want to try something a bit different, and I find looking at another artist's work for inspiration can really help. A contemporary artist that I'm really fascinated by is Marlene Dumas. Marlene Dumas' portrait of the singer Amy Winehouse is in the National Portrait Gallery collection. I thought by making a little study of it, it might help me understand how it had been made. The original painting of Amy Blue by Marlene Dumas is actually oil on canvas, but I think I could get a similar effect using acrylic paint. That would make it a little bit quicker to do as well. So I'm going to use, I've got a print of the painting to refer to. I'm using watercolour paper, which I've just got from a tear-off pad. I've got some acrylic paints. Looking at this, I think I'm definitely going to need a blue. I've got an extra black, some white, some red to make some pink, some soft bristled brushes and some paper just to kind of keep those clean. I've got a palette to put my paints on and a water pot with some water in it. I think one of the interesting things about Marlene Dumas is that she doesn't really do much of a drawing underneath. She doesn't use pencil or anything like that to mark out where anything is. She just goes straight in with the paint. So I'm just going to mark out where I think the initial kind of things should be. So I know that this eye is going to be kind of somewhere around here. Just kind of roughly marking the general shape of it. Cropping something like this isn't the way that we tend to see it with our eye, but it is the way that a camera tends to see an image. That suggests that this piece of work has actually been made using a photograph rather than from life. Using found photographs and found imagery is something that's very important in Marlene Dumas' work. A lot of her work is actually about the abundance of imagery and the fact that we have lots and lots and lots of images of people, particularly celebrities, and that's how we get used to them, that's how we sort of form an opinion about them. That we kind of consume all these images of them and they become almost our property. This is a really interesting portrait because actually Marlene Dumas never met Amy Winehouse. This painting was made after news of Amy Winehouse's death in 2011. You get a real sense of melancholy just in the limited palette and the use of these very sombre colours. You were going to do a portrait of someone that you knew and you were just going to use a single colour. I wonder what colour would really give an impression of how you feel about that person. I think I've made this eye much too small. Need to really drag it out a bit more. Oh yeah, definitely made that eye too small. If you get a good colour mixed up, have a little look just to see where else you can see that colour while you've got it on your brush. It'd be much easier to just use it up and kind of spread it around, and then all those areas will look a bit more kind of united. So it's quite difficult to remix that colour once you've washed it off your brush. I'm using watercolour paper and it's quite thick, but it means that I can add a lot of water to it if I need to. Some of these colours look a little bit strong, so if you use a kind of thinned down paint, then you can just put it over some of those colours and it acts as a kind of glaze, diffuses them a little bit, just takes the edges down. One of the things that I really like about Marlene Dumas' work is the looseness and the playful handling of paint. Well, I think I'll leave that there to dry off for a bit. It's very different from the way that I usually paint, but I have enjoyed loosening up a bit and just trying something a bit different. I really hope that this has encouraged you to think a little bit about the process and think about how you paint as well as what you paint. Bye for now.